Rawr, rawr.
I'm so happy, happy-go-lucky me. I just go my way, living every day. I don't worry.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the show. Greetings, ghouls, and welcome to another episode of the Hobbesy or Screamcast Bros, where I, the titular Hobbesy, and over yonder, RJ, my good buddy, will take a nice romp through the film du jour. We'll get into that in a little bit, but hello. How you doing, RJ? It's been a minute.
Yeah, it has been a little bit, but doing good. Doing good.
Good. I feel like in order of releases, it won't be a minute necessarily because we came back after a mid-season break that lasted a little bit longer than intended, I think. But from there on, I think everything's just gonna come out in nice, smooth, hopefully, its own due time and all that good stuff. Well, but yeah, glad to be here and doing it. Life is busy, so things are hard to nail down sometimes, but we're almost through it. We just have this and one other we gotta do, but we have enough time to do it. But yeah, very exciting things. I'm happy to be back. We've been doing a nice little series of shorts, going along with the Tubi challenge by House of
They have
Horror.
been very, very entertaining, by the way.
Have you been the shorts? Have you watched any of the films recently?
Not recently. I know you and I got a little tiff over The Frighteners because it's a good movie, damn it.
It was an okay movie, and my rating was still slightly above average. So,
I mean, it's one of those like little under the radar Michael J. Fox movies because it doesn't feel like it should be a movie that Michael J. Fox ever did because I know him from Back to the Future. That's about it.
Back to the Future, and more recently than that, though not recently at all, Spin City. Used to watch that a lot as a kid.
Spin City was good.
Right.
But anyway, just I know that threw me off the first time I watched The Frighteners just because I'm like that, but he's Marty McFly. Why is he in this seeing dead people and, seeing death? But it's a good movie, damn it, and I strongly encourage people to watch it because it is great.
I know, 100%. I agree. I 100% encourage people to watch it. It wasn't a bad movie. It was a dumb movie that was in that weird spot in the 90s where they were like,
Yeah, it's supposed to be like a comedy horror.
well, yeah, no, of course, but it was in that weird spot in the 90s when they were like starting to go real hard on like their CG, and tinkering with all their new toys and everything, and it was that really like goofy CG that did not age well at all.
It does look a little low budget looking back on it now, but
one of the things,
it's a good movie.
I don't know if I didn't say it in the review, and I don't know if I said it to you, but they did a really good job at trying to be a Tim Burton film. Because it's kind of like Tim Burton fucked Casper the Friendly Ghost, that 95 film or whatever it was, and spat this out. So that was pretty cool. I did not say it was a bad movie. I said it did not land for me. The comedy wasn't quite there for me. It was, yeah.
Also, like, the last time I've seen this movie was probably a good, 10, 15 years ago, too, so...
You may be clouded by nostalgia. I have tasted pure, and it has rotted.
I do, because I don't think I asked you, did you see this movie before the
I did not.
review?
No. This was the first time seeing it. I had never seen this film. I did not know this film existed. So when I saw Michael J. Fox playing like a psychic con or like an exorcist con man type deal, it's a fun role. I
Yeah.
like him in it
Oh
all
yeah,
right,
yeah. He does.
definitely.
He is very, very good at it.
Oh yeah,
I am
100%.
just surprised because it's usually you that knows the like obscure movies, and me, I'm like, what the hell is that?
I mean,
It's a little weird having the roles reversed here.
it's just missed me in my youth, and I never heard about it in
I don't
my
even
any time
I don't even
after.
know how I watched it for the first time. I think like again, like most of the weird obscure movies in my youth was my dad had it on and I just sat there and watched. And I think this is another one of those moments where my dad was just watching it and I just sat down on the couch next to him and watched it with him and thoroughly enjoyed it.
I kind of figured that's probably the case. This seems like a thing that would come from your father, so I can see that. That's fair. Um, but yes, we did have a tiff about that, and I wish I had gotten down the words from the tiff for the review instead, because it's so much better. It's been so much better when we bounce it off each other. But don't have time for that. I gotta watch the movie, I gotta record the review, and then I gotta throw it on the YouTubes. But yeah, I've had a lot of fun with it. I've seen a few things that I'd never seen before. Night of the Demons I'd never seen before, and that was a dumb '80s fun horror comedy. I appreciated it.
Because I think it's like half the list on that I forget where the list came from. If you'd like to plug them.
At House of Horrors Co. on the Twitter/X.
There
House of
you go.
Horrors was
Uh,
great. We love them.
because I think like it's like 10 movies on the list, right?
Yeah, it's a 10 movie list to just be watched over the course of a month.
Yeah, like half of them I've never heard of, and the other half I'm like, all right, I see, I like the list.
Right, right. Nice. It's been really good. It's been fun. I've done number 5, which was Tucker
Yeah,
and
I think
Dale versus
yeah.
Evil, which I think might
You've never seen that before this either, right?
Tucker and Dale I've seen once
Oh,
back
okay.
when it went
That's another
to DVD.
that's
Uh
another fun one.
oh shit, man. Yes. I think that I don't know. I think that might be my favorite movie of all time. Not just favorite horror or horror comedy. That might be my favorite movie of all time.
It
Um,
was definitely like stupid funny and just it's a wild ride and I highly suggest that one because I remember like
definitely.
when it first because I think Netflix is what like produced the movie if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, I don't know
But like
that.
I remember it like being promoted on like Netflix and stuff like that, and I had to watch it. It was so good. I thought it was gonna
It
like, yo,
was
this is gonna be dumb, and then I watched it and I'm like, it's so dumb, it's good.
it's dumb, but it's so smart. It plays on every single trope that can be reached
Yeah,
for in like that cabin in the woods way. It hit the nail on the head in every aspect and in swapping the perspective. It, it's such a fun fucking movie. Oh man. But yeah. Anyway, uh, that's been a thing I've been doing. We've been putting that up on the YouTubes. Check it out. It's fun. We like it. uh, yeah. I don't have anything else really other than fun little new quote unquote segment that'll just come as it comes. Anything else for you before we get into that, RJ? Then we could get this
no.
movie underway. All right, all right. Well, I guess we're gonna hop into it. We'll have a off and on segment as things do come, if they come, when they come. Positive thinking.
Yeah.
Uh, um, we're gonna do a little mailbag segment called Body Bag or Dead Drop. I don't know. Body Bag was suggested to us by a friend of the show. Uh, Unclear or make it unclear. Uh, I like it. I like it. And that also the first body bag will come from Unclear. Let me go ahead and pull that up because I did pull it, but I don't have it on screen. There we go. And it reads, "Hey fellas, here's a question for your inaugural. I can speak English. Body bag segment, whenever that may be. It's right now. Um, Imagine you're a horror movie character slash victim. What setting are you in? Why are you in there? And what slash who kills you? For me, this is for unclear. Uh, for me, I think it'd be at the long abandoned mansion of some dead eccentric millionaire, digging through his personal library for the location of his lost fortune. As soon as I find the answer, the bookshelf mysteriously falls and nearly crushes me. I deftly dodge it with a cat-like step-back maneuver, and feeling relieved and overconfident, I turn around and get jump-scared by some taxidermied animal, then trip and fall down by the fireplace, impaled by the fire poker. As I bleed out, I watch the map to the lost fortune float into the fireplace, lost forever. Keep up the good casting. Make it unclear. Slash, I won't say your real name on the podcast. It's okay. Uh, we went ahead and we prepped our responses for this since we had the time and energy to do so. RJ, would you like to go ahead first since yours is first on the list?
Yeah, sure, why not? So the people that have been following along with us, they know how much we joke about white peopling.
Mhm.
So, of course, I had to white people the shit out of this response. So basically, my scenario would be, like some eccentric billionaire gets all this research because he's a dinosaur enthusiast. Same. And, he basically makes like a Jurassic Park and, just puts it on some unnamed island that's never been discovered or anything like that. Just creates the park there. And, of course, does his most famous Willy Wonka impersonation and just hides, X number of tickets out in the world and gives like vague clues to find said tickets. And obviously whoever gets the tickets gets to be the guinea pigs, as it were, for the park and be the first ones to explore this park. And of course I find one of the tickets because I'm super smart, obviously. um
Clearly.
yeah, thanks for not laughing there. So and then so make my journey to the island. And you know everything is all hunky dory, seeing live dinosaurs in their habitat and in their ecosystem, whatever you want to call it, and just having the time of my life because again, I still love dinosaurs, never grew out of the phase. It's a lifestyle, just like emo. Anyways, so and then we get like kind of the behind the scenes stuff of how they did their research and all that. I know it's sounding just like Jurassic Park. I do apologize, but it is one of my favorite all-time movies. um and then like of course, watching all these movies, they open a park like this in real life, I'm going. I don't
Oh
give a
yeah.
shit. I know I'm not making it back. I'm still fucking going. Once in a lifetime experience. And then, of course, everything goes, what's the saying, to hell in a handbasket or whatever it is.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Dinosaurs start breaking out, starts, causing rampage throughout the whole park. Everybody's running for their lives, trying to get off the island. Of course, there's no way off the fucking island for whatever reason. And I will eventually find myself cornered by insert dinosaur here, trying to, just hide from it, not let it sense me, see me, nothing. And then, I get relieved because the dinosaur does not find me at all, leaves the area to, search for food somewhere else. And then in my relief, I got through it. I'm still alive. I turn around, get stepped on by a gigantic monster. And that's how we go out.
I like it. I like it. I mean, yeah, it's Jurassic Park. We talked about it. You wanted something kind of Wonka-esque with
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
MacGuffin of a golden ticket
The
sort
whole
of
time I
thing.
was the
And
whole time I was thinking of it, I'm like, you know what, Jurassic Park with Willy Wonka would sound really cool. And then, of course, the famous quote that I came up with: white people." So I white peopled.
yeah,
Um,
100%. And that's okay.
and,
We love it. I
and
would
then
be.
on, yeah, I was gonna say on that note,
Oh, I was just gonna say I'd be 100% on board as well. I'd be right there with you.
oh
It would
yeah,
be a consumerist nightmare of buying
Believe me,
everything under the sun to get a ticket.
if it was a plus one situation, like you would be the plus
Oh,
one because I know you would be the only one
yeah, let's go.
dumb enough, brave enough, dumb enough, brave enough.
I want to see a dinosaur.
Yes, exactly.
I don't give a fuck what that comes with. I want to see a dinosaur.
Exactly.
Yeah, I love it. Um, yeah, I had to ask you because I started writing mine and I was like, shit, wait a minute, am I going to be stepping into your turf here? Because I wanted to go with a park kind of scenario as well.
Nah,
Um, okay,
mine's more of an island.
right, right. They kind of, there's a little Venn diagram going on in there of them, but otherwise, uh, I feel like I'd end up in a theme park or like a fun fair or circus type scenario. It's gotten late, the grounds are closing, but I'm off in a bathroom or tucked away in some bushes, in a compromising yet scintillating position with get a little grippy, grippy, grabby. Then boom, a long improvised stabbing implement right through my lover's neck as I'm showered in arterial spray and the kind of trauma that doesn't wash off. Um, I start running. I think, I don't think I've got a chance. I know I'm probably not going to last long, but I got to survive. I got to escape. So I'm running as this whole cadre of sideshow attractions have come to life in a very grotesque Cronenberg-like styling of body horror. Just like plastic and flesh melded together in grossness. And, I can run, but I can't hide in this scenario. And I find myself eventually climbing the scaffolding of a kiddie coaster or something of that nature, trying to outlast my ghastly pursuers until help arrives or morning comes or whatever the end game scenario is for it. But just as I reach the first bit of track that I can leverage myself onto, I hear a buzz, and the bastards have started the ride. I scramble to get myself down out of the way, but I've climbed too high to safely jump. So I begin trying to climb when suddenly a piece of clothing, a hoodie, a belt loop, something snags on the metal of the railings. And just as I look up to see the carts coming over the apex of that track, I am at head height, and within seconds, my skull, bones, gray matter, all of it is a smattering upon the front of a kiddie coaster cart. And that's my end. Quick and messy, and with trauma.
Say some Final Destination, a Final Destination in there with the little the Cronenberg like people.
Kind of a. I'm trying to think of a weird. I almost wanted to go with like a House of Wax, but that's not it. A little bit of the Thing mixed with a little bit of. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I was gonna say I know I've seen a movie like similar. They kind of have, like just I get Wrong Turn maybe,
Wrong turn.
or was that the movie? No, oh no, I'm thinking of the was it The Hills Have Eyes? Never mind.
Ah, yeah, yes, yeah, 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 yeah.
That's the
There we go.
movie
There
I'm
we go.
thinking of. Yes. I always get those two movies mixed up, even though they take place in completely separate settings.
Grotesquely mutated hillbilly cannibals.
Yes,
Yeah, it could
exactly.
be comparable to that. Definitely, I could see that. Kind of like the carny or the sideshow performer, or
See,
there we go.
our scenarios were completely different.
Yeah, we got there. But yeah, thank you, Unclear, for your email. We greatly appreciate it. And if you would like to email us with questions, concerns, or anything of the like, you can hit us up at hobbsyhorror@gmail.com. Subject line, whatever. We'll read it. But mailbag, body bag, anything that might indicate you got a letter, that'd be great. Other than that, I think we can go ahead and hop into things. How you feeling? We limbered up? We ready to go?
Yeah, I think we're good. I think we're good. Knock the rust off.
Yeah, yeah. Give it a little, just a little love tap. Uh, I haven't looked at the notes and everything in months. Uh, because we had not we had done this what a month, 2 months ago when we sat down, did our watching,
Uh,
did our
at,
note session and everything.
at least a month because trips happen, life happened.
Yes, so
Yeah.
very much happened. I'm going to go ahead and get this pulled up because I'm silly and forgot to pull up the trailer before we went ahead into this. But I can do that now with some quickness. And with that, we'll get into the production notes of 2001's 13 Ghosts, directed by Stephen Beck, with screenplay by Neil Marshall Stevens and Richard Diavito. The story by Rob White being based on White's 13 Ghosts, with the number instead of being spelled out. The film was produced by Robert Zemeckis, Joel Silver, and Gilbert Adler. Rounding it out with cinematography by Gail Tattersall, editing by Derek G. Brecken, and pardon me, Mr. Edward A. Warshilka. Did we ever
And
determine?
what I came up with.
Okay, fair enough. Warchilka, or I'm very sorry, Mr. Edward. And music by John Frizzle. Uh, didn't know how much Robert Zemeckis was responsible for. He's been a part of our lives and childhood for many years, and that's kind of a cool, fun thing. Uh,
Yeah, so I was gonna say my little fun fact. I did not know this movie was a remake. I
yeah,
had no clue. And then because it's actually kind of cool because actually going over this, with the original title, 13 Ghosts is the number 13. When they spell out this one, they have the 13 in the middle of
in
the
the middle
word
of the word.
13. And I thought that was really, really cool after learning that because I had no idea there's a significance with that.
It's a very nice
So.
nod, right?
Yeah, I thought that was really cool. Like, I was literally, whenever we did the notes for this, I'm like, I had no clue this was a remake. And apparently, I don't think I actually put it in the notes, but what's her name? Shannon Elizabeth, correct? Is her name?
Shannon Elizabeth,
That's in the
yes.
movie. She had no idea while shooting the movie it was a remake. And I thought that was like kind of funny as well.
It's pretty chill. I have never seen the original, so that's something I feel like I should probably sit down with. Uh,
Hmm.
I know we have some interesting notes there, which I think we
Oh,
get into that pretty
yeah,
quick.
a little later. But yeah, but speaking of Steve Beck, this was his directorial debut with this
Yeah,
movie.
it definitely was. Beyond that, his first and penultimate directorial his first and penultimate directorial venture at that. He went on to direct 2002's Ghost Ship, and then he never did anything again, as far as I know. As far as like movies go, at least. He has directed commercials for different companies and industries. I don't know if that was before or after the film debut. Uh,
I will say he went out on two great movies because Ghost Ship was another pretty good movie
he,
too.
he came in and went out onto
Exactly. Like he knew when his time was and when his time was over when it came to movies and got out and he did a good job because like I said, both movies are really good.
I don't know if I've ever seen Ghost Ship, honestly.
It's not a great movie, but it's a good movie.
Okay.
Like it is rewatchable. It's not something that's gonna be like, oh my God, this is my favorite movie or anything like that. But it is definitely rewatchable. It has some pretty cool scenes in it.
For sure,
It
for sure.
opens up with a cool scene just like this movie when we get into it.
So I should watch it at least once.
Yes, I
Okay,
would recommend.
fair enough.
Who knows? It could be on a list in sometime in the future.
You never know. Uh, moving on, the film stars Tony Shalhoub, which I don't think anybody can look at him without seeing Monk, at
Same.
least, in the millennial category. Uh, Embeth Davids, that's a hard last name too. I'm real sorry about that. Embeth. Matthew Lillard, Shannon Elizabeth, Raw Digga, and F. Murray Abram.
And then, another little fun fact in here, Daniel Wesley, who he played the ghost, the torso ghost, and actually kind of it was kind of a neat little thing. He's actually a double amputee, so they basically just had to go out there and just in CGI took his head off and just let him act like
Right.
that, which I thought that was actually kind of a cool little thing.
Definitely.
Um, and then going back to the original movie, so the original movie, I guess when it was in theaters, or I'm assuming is when it was in theaters, the audience actually had to wear these special glasses while viewing the movie to see the ghosts in the movie. And the way the remake kind of did a little nod with it is because they have to, in the movie, they have to wear these glasses to see the ghosts because they can't see them without them. And I thought that was kind of a cool little nod to the original movie.
Yeah, it's a very clever incorporation. So I guess when if I sit down to watch the original, I'm gonna have to get a pair of like stupid 3D glasses from the way back. I'm gonna have to go to like a
I
party
mean,
store or
you could
something.
just, I was gonna say, like, you could probably just, I would imagine you could just wear regular 3D glasses, like any kind of 3D glasses,
I
maybe.
don't.
Well, it's not necessarily 3D though,
Yeah, it's not 3D. It relies on uh the red and blue cellophane.
but that's what's in 3D glasses. I
Well,
wonder if they would work.
old school 3D glasses. Modern 3D glasses are a bit different, eh? 3D goggles, as they are.
Dude, I don't know.
I don't know how the modern 3D goggle works, honestly. So yeah, no, it could be, honestly.
One
um,
way to find out.
right. I had a couple notes just going down from it, talking about how I never think of Tony Shalhoub, but he's been in like everything apparently.
I mean,
He's
he was Samuel L. Jackson, Morgan Freeman before Samuel L. Jackson and Morgan Freeman, I feel.
uh, he's been acting since I was born. I think since '86, and he's been on film so much, and I just never think of this man. I never see him in anything, but I do know him from this, and I know him from Monk, and those are the two things I can point at and be like, yeah, that's Tony Shalhoub. Uh, Also, Matthew Lillard, we love him to death.
Yes, we do.
We adore him here. Anybody who has anything bad to say about him, you can go away, or I
Your
will.
email go right in that round cylinder filing cabinet we call trash.
Right, with the little noisemaker on top to run it through first, and then I'll shit on it. Um, Lillard has been the voice of Shaggy since 2010. Uh, I believe from the time he started the films, and then he went on to be the voice of Shaggy for the animated series going forward, and still is, question mark, I believe. Um, and then on top of that, I don't know how I'd never listened to Raw Digga as like an alleged rapper and longtime fan of the House of Hip Hop. I'm very upset with myself for sleeping on her for ever, I guess, for
Because
always.
this was like the only movie she ever did, right, in her whole
Yes,
career.
this was apparently her only acting gig. So but yeah, never knew, and I'm a little upset because I went back and I started listening to her. I'm like, holy shit, this bangs. What? um. Anyway, beyond the general notes, we'll go ahead and finish out production here. Sorry about that, kids. We love to get sidetracked. The film had a budget of 42 million, and it saw an initial release at the box office on October 26th of 2001, with just over 15 million in sales that would grow to a 41 million domestic and 68 million global box office taking. The film currently stands at a 19% reviewer score. Is that right? Did I really write? Did I type 19? Is that, was that a RJ?
Oh, I have no idea. I'm just going off of your notes here, man.
I didn't even put where that's from. Oh, I'm assuming it's Rotten Tomatoes. And if it's Rotten
Probably
Tomatoes with a
Rotten
reviewer score,
Tomatoes.
19% reviewer score is so
Dude,
fucking what?
Rotten
Anyway,
Tomatoes hates everything.
fuck Rotten Tomatoes. We don't support you around here anymore, Rotten Tomatoes. Fight me. Uh, anyway, Rotten Tomatoes doesn't matter. On IMDb, it has it's set at a 5.6 out of 10 stars, which is still low to me. I don't care. I'm fucking baffled by this. Because I love this movie. Maybe I I'd say maybe it's like nostalgia, but it's like no, we watched it. I love this movie. But yeah, I don't know how that happens. I don't know how scores like that happen, but somebody's a liar. But
Clearly
yeah,
the answer.
clearly. Do you have a nice little behind the scenes image here that maybe I'll throw up in the video portion of things? We'll see.
I recommend.
Yeah, it's pretty rad. It's of the cast, all of the ghosts, as well as I believe, yeah, cast and crew back there. But yeah, really great stuff. But yeah, that I just re-baffled myself rereading those scores since typing them months ago, and I'm offended. But yeah, that's our production. Do you have anything else about it you want to say, or we can go ahead and hop into the trailer and get going with that?
I think we can. I mean, besides Rotten Tomatoes being just dumb,
Yeah,
yeah, I think we can just go into the trailer.
We stand Matthew Lillard. Fuck Rotten Tomatoes. That's about the message of this episode, I guess. Anyway, are you ready? We can go ahead and start it up.
Whenever you are.
All right, I will get it going here. Actually, I should also adjust the audio there because it's going to be loud.
All the time. Most of them, they can't hurt us. Most of them don't even want to hurt us. But there are
It's really good
exceptions.
because the trailer starts with the flashes from that opening scene.
Bad is my professional opinion. We should get the hell out
This
of
whole
here.
opening is fantastic.
Now.
I don't know if I've ever seen the trailer for this.
Really?
I don't think I've ever seen the trailer. I don't even know how I knew of this movie. I just fucking watched it. It seems to be a recurring theme throughout all of these movies. I don't know how I heard of these movies. I just fucking watched it.
Right.
I've instructed my lawyer to deliver my last will and testament.
This was a really good trailer.
Key to your house. This house is the fruit of my life's work.
In the way it sets everything up, because it really just gives you everything you need. It gives you the setup for the story.
Arthur, we've got some papers to sign in the library. After that, I would love to take you and the family around.
It's not vague, but it's not overbearing with its information.
All right, now.
I will say, even before we get into the movie and everything, that little fucking kid,
That fucking
so
kid.
annoying.
Aren't they
I think this
always?
is like one of the few movies I was like, yeah, if you guys killed a kid, I wouldn't be that upset about it.
Right?
This Halloween.
If a
And
kid just
we
happens
have,
to
We did have one of our followers go out and say one of her favorite lines that we came up with was, "If you can kill a dog, you can kill a kid."
if you can kill a dog, you can kill a kid. Oh yeah.
Because we love dogs on this. We do love dogs on this channel.
Absolutely.
13 ghosts.
Being trapped in a house with 13 ghosts.
How close is it? Close enough to hurt you?
Go, go, go!
That was always a good little scene. What? I can't see it. Well, I can, and I recommend you go this way.
I feel like Matthew Lillard almost always played the same character.
Nothing.
In some
No, he was-
aspect, there's a lot of overlap. Good trailer
mean,
though.
But he's a good guy. He plays a certain type of character, and when he's a bad guy, I feel like he plays a different kind of character.
Yeah, I'd give it that. Yeah. Yeah, I guess so. I'm comparing villain roles for him.
I mean, the only two villain roles I could really think of that he was in was Scream and for Five Nights at Freddy's.
True enough. Yeah.
Sorry, spoiler alert.
I feel yeah, maybe that's something
Those are
I'll
the
have to
only two I
dive
could
into
think
because
of.
I know Lillard's done a few more. Either way, anyway, you reminded me in the middle of that. Also, shout out to Taco Pancakes. Go check them out on the Twitch. They're fantastic. They never speak, but that's okay. Taco is another friend of the show who sent us a nice encouraging Starship Troopers reference. In doing
I
their
was mad at
part,
myself that I didn't get right away.
it's
Still mad at myself over that.
I don't know why it's something so ingrained in my brain, but as soon as I see the
Dude, I
words,
loved that movie
I'm
as a
doing my
kid. It's
part.
so good. That movie is so good too. And you know what? I might just make it a horror movie just so we can watch it.
I yeah, we'll find a way to bend it. We'll find a way to bend it. We'll bend it. Like fucking Beckham. I don't know if that's a thing you can really say anymore that makes sense, but I said it. And it's also a movie reference to a film I've never seen. Anyway.
Also, showing the age.
Yeah, I guess so, eh? When did that movie come out? I don't know. I've never seen it. It's just something stuck in my head from youth. But yeah, no, good trailer. It gets into it. It gives you what the movie is about. It doesn't over exposition itself. It doesn't undersell itself. It's probably a perfect trailer. No, no stupid new metal here. Nothing against new metal. I love new metal. Maybe not. Maybe I'm old. Anyway, all right, hopping into it, eh? 2001's 13 Ghosts. We open up with a scene that you initially stated to give big Jurassic Park vibes, and I definitely agree. As our main, I almost said main characters, semi-main character, and
Co-stars.
right, supporting cast and maybe villain. Spoiler? I don't know. Anyway.
I mean, you see this movie, Cyrus is his name. You have a name, Cyrus. You look like an eccentric billionaire that not the like the fun eccentric billionaire, but like the I will buy your house and demolish it right in front of you kind of eccentric
Right.
billionaire. He's a villain.
He's a
You know it
villain.
right from the jump. Let's be real.
Eccentric billionaire capturing a murderous ghost in a junkyard. Yeah, he's probably the bad guy.
Yeah, he's the bad guy. We know right away. There is no hiding it.
But yes, we open up with Cyrus and Dennis, as well as who are the other two? I've completely forgotten their names.
The guy wasn't really all that important.
Not important. He gets murdered in a
Yeah,
phone
he
booth
gets killed
sized
pretty
case
early.
pretty quick.
I don't remember the girl's name, but she does come up later.
Yes, and you know what? The name will come up later too. Who knows? Anyway, we get
Exactly.
introduced to it. Oh, Cat? No, not Kathy and Bobby. The kids. Anyway, we start in the junkyard with the big giraffe.
Kalina.
Kalina. Thank you.
That's her name. I knew it was something weird.
Uh, that's that. Anyway,
It's not a common name. Let's put it
it's
that
not
way.
a common name. No,
Did not mean to say weird. It's not common.
it's not weird. I was gonna say, I mean, unclear is related to a Kalina, you know. But yeah, we get that. We get a fantastic credit scroll that gives us a solid backstory for our main cast that comes after the rampage of the Juggernaut that is the opening. You have any commentary or notes on that?
No, it's just like we said, it's like big Jurassic Park, where you have the puddle with the big footprint of the T-Rex and you just see it like rumbling. Like it is definitely that Jurassic Park scene vibes. And then just the it was kind of I thought it was kind of cool because, like we said earlier, the characters they have to wear the glasses in order. We don't know this at the time, but like you have to wear the glasses to see the ghosts, and then you kind of see like when he first pops up, the Juggernaut. He's like there, but then he's not, and then you kind of see him throwing people around, but then you just kind of see people just flying around and nothing. And I thought that was kind of cool, like little back and forth in that scene where you can like see him and then don't see him.
It was very chaotic. Thankfully, it was semi well lit, but the camera work was highly jank. For good reason. Got a little bit of like the Evil Dead movement through, like the Evil Dead camera movement through the junkyard. All in all, really cool. opening, but we get Cyrus as the baddie. People get killed. Dennis is a not a clairvoyant, not necessarily a psychic, but just like
They pretty much called him a psychic, but like if
right.
he touches people, he gets like their whole like history pretty
Yeah,
much, like their whole past like kind of flashes before his eyes.
right. And this allows him to track the ghosts. He can feel them. But yeah, it's a really great opening. A lot of people die right there in the first
Yes.
scene.
Yes.
The whole scene could probably be picked as a favorite kill of the movie. But we get our first like face kill, which is I forgot his name again already. Um,
The eccentric billionaire?
no, the guy that didn't need a name.
Oh yeah. I don't know if they've ever really said his name, to be honest
I
with you.
think they do, but whatever. It's our first like face kill on screen, I guess. And beyond that, we
Oh, I
then
will shout out just one little kill. He's an unnamed person. He's just kind of like one of the, the people you pay. Hey, I have a job for you, but we're
right,
not going to tell you how dangerous it is. So come take my money because you're not going to actually take my money because you're going to die. Just the
right.
part where like, because they're in the junkyard with all the cars, and he just gets folded in half like a fucking
Oh
chair,
yeah,
and right into the hood. Like, oh my,
yeah.
that was.
That's a really good.
Not to spoil anything later for like, kill the movie and all that, but that one almost took the prize
Right,
because
it's
it
a
is
good,
so
strong one.
good.
Yeah. Um, there's something else I was gonna say about that first scene, and I've completely forgotten it again. But no, that's definitely a fantastic kill. But yeah, move on to the introduction of the main cast.
Well,
Did,
because I don't think we said, but like they actually catch the ghosts and like these
oh yeah, no,
cubes with all like the I guess spells is the right word,
the
that
like
like,
Elvish that's written on the glass. Latin,
or
excuse
Latin,
me, Latin.
whatever. Um Anyway, Elfish. So they captured the ghosts of like these little cute like glass cubes that have Latin, not Elvish,
Whatever, man. I know my Tolkien.
spells written all over them, and we find out later, like in the movie, the ghosts have to obey whatever those spells says while they're
Yes.
like in that containment cube. I think that's the words they use. But then, like, kind of the scene ends where Dennis finds Cyrus dead because it looked like a piece of metal like went through his throat or something. Because I know he
Yeah,
was
he got
bleeding out pretty
impaled
good from
there.
the jugular.
Yeah, messy scene, fun scene. Forgot Cyrus
Very
dies there
nice.
too. Like shit, that's the whole point, isn't it?
Yeah, that's yeah.
That's what carries us on to the next portion. Do we have anything else? Because I'm not on top of it. I'm sorry. I'm rusty, kids.
Oh,
Uh,
that's. I mean, that's all I pretty much had.
yeah, that's long and short there. Okay, okay, cool, cool. All right, that carries us on into the cast introduction. Really, we meet uh Cyrus's nephew, unknown nephew. Cyrus's unknown uncle. Either way, mysterious family ties. As lawyer Ben Moss arrives to their home, in which they are having some problems, financial issues, as they had survived a fire, had to move into a tiny apartment space. Uh, not
Literally
Ben,
lost everything, and
lost
the
everything.
and the wife died in the fire as well.
Yes, our Arthur, our Shalhoub, uh, loses his wife, moves to a smaller apartment with his two kids, Kathy and Bobby, and the nanny Maggie, played by Rod Digga. Which I don't appreciate the overuse of stereotypicalness in it, but I mean it was 90s film or 2000s film, 2000s film. Either
2000.
way, it's Hollywood, and they stereotype everyone. Uh, But they're having some financial struggles and everything. They lost everything, and that's when we get. I had a note that I thought was funny, where I said Deus Ex Machina, because Ben Moss is Cyrus's lawyer, and never mind, I'm not funny. Uh, Abjugator, arbitrator,
Arbiter?
arbiter.
Arbiter?
There we go. That sounds right.
Arbiter?
Arbiter of his last will and testament, in which he delivers news of a new home for the family. All they have to do is accept and move in immediately. It's shady. They accept a tour. They arrive there. I have a problem with a big house made of glass. I don't know about you.
Um, yeah, I don't need my whole business. I know it's out in the middle of
It's out in the middle
nowhere,
of
but
nothing,
like somebody
right?
pulls up and they're like, "Yo, I see you 4 rooms back. I don't need that in my life."
What you doing in there? Uh,
Exactly, like I don't need that in my life.
taking a shit. I see. I see. Good on you.
It's kind
Um,
of like the Family Guy episode where they have Wonder Woman in her invisible jet and Superman flies up. Oh, hey, what you doing? And she's going to the bathroom.
yeah. Oh man. Yep. Just like that. Uh, I I like it, but I don't like it. Obviously, it's a big glass house and something
The
something
cool
throwing
stuff inside
stones.
the house, on the
Yes,
other hand,
the shit
that's
side's
a different
rad.
story. The house itself, I'm good.
You could just give me some wood paneling. Just leave everything else, but just give me some wood paneling. Um, we get in. We get introduced to Matthew Lillard, who is well. We get reintroduced to Matthew Lillard, who's now disguised himself as a worker from the power company, alleging that the house has been causing brownouts in the area uh, in a large number that sounded exaggerated. And he's trying to get in for his own reasons of finding the money that Cyrus well owes him after
Yeah,
years
so
of
pretty
service.
pretty much his character, he like kind of acts like he's a bad guy and he's only in it for the money, but deep down, deep
Yeah,
down, he's really a good
he's
guy.
a good
And
guy.
this is why we love Matthew Lillard.
Yeah, no, he's a complicated character. You know, I'd be a bit of a butthole too if
Yeah, if anybody touched me or if I got the, radius, like a 20-foot radius of anything dead and
yeah,
just,
right.
just start having like flashbacks of their whole life. Because again, America's not is not as old as like all the other countries in the
Europe.
world, but we have some dead shit here.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you know, we spent a lot of time killing uh, when we
Yeah.
came to the Americas. The white man, I mean. But yeah, we got a lot of dead things under us. You know, it would be an uncomfortable position to be in. Uh, I can understand being a bit of a butt. And also wanting the money that you're owed after being used by an eccentric billionaire to do his dirty work in capturing souls
Yeah.
grossly. Um, anyway, they get in the house, they're going through it, they're doing the tour. Of course, everybody splits up because that's what everybody has to do. Maggie's a bad babysitter who doesn't keep up
Terrible.
with the kids. Yeah, no, absolute dumpster fire of a babysitter. Um, some notes that start up because they begin searching around and whatnot, and Matthew Lillard gets into the depths of it. Uh, and what triggers it exactly? I forget what triggers
Talk
the
about what
mechanism.
triggers the house. So, well, basically, so when they get in there, Matthew Dennis, he asks like, the for to where the fuse boxes are and all that stuff, because he wants to go in the basement, and then that's when he sees, well, he starts feeling the ghosts all around him because that's where the ghosts are trapped in the basement, and the lawyer actually because when Dennis comes back up from seeing all the ghosts and everything like that, he starts talking to Arthur and tries to convince him like, you need to get your family out of here and doesn't want to exactly sound crazy and tell him, yeah, there's a bunch of ghosts locked in the basement, so you need to get the fuck out of here. Because, who's going to believe that?
I mean,
That's
honestly,
when the lawyer kind of disappears, and him actually picking up the suitcase of money, because it's on the suitcase is like on these levers,
that's right.
and he picks that up, and that releases the mechanism, that because the whole house is basically like one big mechanism to, what is it, like, to open the portal to hell or something like that. And it like starts releasing, all slowly, one by one, starts slowly releasing the ghosts, like, from their containment chambers.
Which I also thought was interesting, that it was pretty much programmed to ramp up tension. Interesting mechanism.
Well, it's part of I guess it's part of, because, well, it comes a little later, but like the book, it's part of like that,
Right, the whole
like the
ritual of it.
ritual. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, but yeah, that's right. Okay, so it is indeed Moss who collects the briefcase and sets things into motion.
Yeah.
Um,
And, well, and then, because that's the part where, like, he takes the money, and he doesn't know what's going on, because he starts, trying to walk out of the basement. And then that's when he realizes, oh, the ghosts are coming out, because he meets, I don't know her exact name in the
uh,
film, but it's the something princess.
I was going to say the
And
something princess. Yes.
yeah, it's the something princess, and she's all kind of cut up and everything else, and she is not happy with this lawyer, because, of course, we forgot the whole line. As he's going down,
Oh,
he
yeah.
walks past her because she has no clothes on. Hey, nice tits, and keeps walking. Guess what? She's out of her chamber now, and you're face to face with her. It's not gonna end well, dude. But she basically backs him up, and then, because the mechanism basically is releasing, like, moving walls, releasing doors, and all that, he just gets split right in half, and it is so glorious.
In half,
So glorious.
vertically, from side to side. It's a really good kill
Like,
scene.
perfectly just right in half. Of course, the front
I was gonna
slides
say
down. You see the whole brain, everything, and then the back slides down.
it was really good.
Mwah.
I
Chef's
love that.
kiss.
Yes, the kills, and we don't get a lot of them really.
The majority of the kills are actually that first scene.
Yeah,
Oddly enough.
because beyond that we have Moss, we have uh Dennis down the line, and that's it, eh?
This Does Kalina die? Well, I guess we'll get to it.
Yes.
Yeah, because she dies too.
She gets the kills in this are so good. Jesus, man. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, back on track. Uh so yes, the machine starts. And this is actually when Kalina comes back in, isn't it? Because they're trying to search
No,
for a way out, and she has
uh,
snuck her way
it's
in.
a little later, because this is when, like, so Dennis convinces Arthur to get his family, because that's when, like, the wall starts shifting
Right.
and all of that. And of course he loses his kids, because he told them to stand in one spot, and you
And they
know how
didn't.
kids are. They did not, including the horrible, terrible babysitter.
Yeah, Maggie's
And
awful.
so this is when they try to go start looking for their kids, and they venture into the basement, and Dennis tries to convince them, was like, hey, did you not just hear me? I said there are 12
There are
ghosts down there.
ghosts down there.
He's like, yeah, but they're locked up, right?
Yeah.
I know you guys can't see me shaking my head, but no,
No,
no, they are
no, they're not.
I guess she's just uh her name is just the Angry Princess.
Okay, okay. Yeah, as it's for some reason I have how the duck. Was I typing English when I was taking notes?
Didn't tell you.
How the duck do all these not seem too good to be true? As soon as a man is screaming ghosts, we are out. The release due to the greedy lawyer. Okay, I did have that in my notes. The door scene. Okay, so when I really did like when the mechanism came to life, and the doors started switching and swapping. It was a very good effect. I don't know how they did any of it. Was it all CG for the most part?
Oh, I have no idea.
Within, just with hallway shots with the the house shifting and sliding around. I have no idea. I assume, but another thing to look into. Just didn't get to it. But we have the transition to glasses because we have Katie wandering around in the basement as well, and I think this is when she.
No, she was actually, I believe, upstairs because she was in one of the bedrooms, and then checks
The
out like the
angry
bathroom.
princess in the bathroom. That's
Yeah,
where I was
because
thinking.
yeah, and then like there's a pair of glasses. It seems like in each room, so and then which that was actually kind of a cool scene too because she doesn't obviously doesn't know what's going on, but then the camera kind of takes you through the glasses to where you see like the whole bathroom's covered in blood. The angry princess is in the tub full of blood in the tub, kind of like taking a bath in blood. And she is like very, you could just tell just from the look on her face, she's like very, very jealous of Katie and her, like, I guess, or was it Katie or Kathy? Kathy.
Is it Kathy?
Um, yeah,
Oh,
like just looks at Kathy, like very jealous. I don't know, it's because she's still alive or because
she's
how pretty
alive and
she
so
is or anything
pretty.
like that. Yeah. So I thought that was kind of a cool little scene too. And then that's when Arthur and I believe Maggie, because he catches up with Maggie, that's when they find her, and then they start looking for the God, that fucking annoying kid. I'm
Yes,
sorry. I'm gonna say how annoying he is every single time.
and Bobby, who has been seeing. He got it. He was the first one with glasses, wasn't he? Down in the basement
I believe so, yeah.
because he sees
Because
his mother telling telling him to get out
yeah,
of
because
there.
yeah, and then he sees like the other ghosts too, and they start like, he starts freaking out and everything, and then the probably the funniest scene of the whole movie is when, he's trying to run away from the ghost and he just right into a wall, knocks himself out. I was like, thank you,
Oh
movie, because I'm
man,
sorry. I love kids. I'm not gonna lie. Kids are great. This kid's fucking annoying.
I love kids when they are running into things or falling down or hitting each other with oversized plastic bats or really just any kid being like in not danger but still having an incident. Funny as hell. Am I the sociopath? uh
Eh,
eh,
you're probably just
anyway.
saying out loud what other people are thinking,
Yeah,
so it's fine.
I just am able to say it.
But yeah, so Bobby knocks himself out, and then he gets basically taken away by we don't know at this point. We don't know. But
Right.
this is when um, Arthur and Kathy are in the basement looking for Bobby, and then Kathy gets attacked by, I believe it was the jackal,
I think so,
right?
yeah.
And yeah, and this Arthur is still skeptical about the whole ghost thing, but then sees his daughter like being attacked by something he can't even see. And then that's when Kalina comes in, throws the flare, and
Yeah.
gets the ghost off of her.
There we go. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so it
Yeah,
comes
yeah, now
about.
we're caught up.
I like the way it's like, yeah, it comes up soon, right? Oh, we got to get through all of this first. Um, yes. I have notes on Lillard giving sass. Not sure what stops Kathy from getting deaded in the bathroom scene because I love that transition through the glass and everything. I think that's a really
Yeah,
great
that
scene.
was a
Might
really cool scene.
It's up there as far as like favorite scenes in the film. Definitely. Uh,
It's one of two for me. I know that.
but I do have to wonder what stops Kathy from getting murdered in that moment because
Well, like
there's nothing
as the
stopping it.
princess was like coming up to her, that's when I think it's either Maggie or Arthur, one or the other, and they find her. And I guess that's what stops the princess from wanting to kill her because
Maybe.
somebody else walks into the room.
Yeah, I suppose so because they're not all like
Yeah, they're not all like evil
evil
spirits.
spirits. They're yeah,
I could
just
think of one that's not, and that's definitely their mom. Um,
well, yes.
that's the only one that kind of comes to mind, though, because I'm just saying Dennis seems to be scared of all of them,
I
so I'm thinking she's the only good one.
probably yeah. The only one who's not there to the only one who's not angry. Um, but yeah, where were we on this? Uh, goes
Uh,
through the glasses, doesn't
yeah,
get
that's where they
killed.
explain the glasses and and the because this is where Kalina has the book. It explains like the glasses, the 12 ghosts that are trapped in the house, and what the house actually is. It's a machine, not a actual house.
Yes, Kalina comes in and saves the day. The book was really interesting. I like the art
Hmm.
and imagery. I think on the DVD there was like a an extra that went through the actual like kind of backstory of the ghosts and everything.
Really? Because I own the DVD and I don't think I've ever seen that.
I think it's. I'm gonna feel real dumb if it's not because I used to own it as well, and I had that history of like falling asleep to extras and like directors' commentaries and everything. I believe it's in there, and it's like an interactive thing where you like flip through the pages if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I think that's on there. You might want to check it out. I don't know. Maybe it's on a different one. Maybe I'm making things up and I just don't realize it. Memory
I mean, that's fun.
can be manipulated, especially by ourselves.
So after Kalina makes the save with Kathy being attacked, she's explaining to Arthur the from the book about what the house actually is, and the machine or the house is known, what is it, the Ocularis Infernum, which basically translates to the Eye of Hell, and the whole point of doing the ritual is so whoever the user or the person performing the ritual with all the ghosts and everything, they can see into the future, and that's why Cyrus did all, spent all the money and built the house and everything else. And then Kalina starts going through all the ghosts, which is the I don't remember what all the ghosts are, but what all their names are, but that's where he finds out his wife Jean is one of the ghosts that's trapped in the house, and she explains to Arthur that in order to basically combat the evil spirits in the house, the house itself, he would have to sacrifice himself out of like pure love or whatever, and that will basically shut down the machine. It would stop the ritual.
Brilliant piece of
I don't know if
bullshit.
you have anything else on that.
Uh, I don't think I do really. No, no.
And then at this point, this is where it's revealed that Cyrus is actually alive in the house, and Kalina was actually on his side the whole time and was basically told Arthur all of this to get him to sacrifice himself, because actually sacrificing himself, he makes himself the 13th ghost and completes the ritual, not stopping the ritual. And this is when Cyrus basically tells Kalina to put his kids in danger because she said that was the only way he was going to sacrifice himself in any ways if his kids were actually in danger. And this is the part which is actually another pretty good death here. Cyrus takes the book from her and continues on with the ritual, and Kalina's trying to chase after him and ends up getting smashed in between two walls moving, and it's a pretty good scene, I'm not
Really,
gonna lie.
yeah, all the deaths, in this
It
movie.
was it was pretty great.
They're
And
powerful, they're
then
meaningful.
so at this point Arthur lost both of his kids. He has no clue where they are. It's just him and Dennis, and they're just trying to Dennis comes up with the idea to, both of them one last time just go through the house, find his kids and try to get out. And then this is where they take one of the glass walls with the spells on it to kind of protect themselves
Use it as a
in the
shield.
basement. Yeah, basically, yeah, as almost kind of like a battering ram on one of the ghosts. The one with the baseball bat, I can't think of his name. He was something. He was like Prince
The Torn
something.
Prince.
There you go. See, you got this.
I got this.
Um, because he starts attacking them, and then they just smash him in between two walls, which that was pretty cool too.
Hmm.
But then it gets to a point where the hammer is left out, which he's just really badass with like all these things, like I guess what are they, like spikes in his
Kind of like
arms
rail
and body
spikes.
and all that. Yeah,
Yeah.
and he gets released, and so Dennis, his one heroic act because he is such a good guy deep down inside, even though he doesn't exactly show it at all times. Basically, traps Arthur in the corner to keep him safe from the ghost. And
Oh
as he's like
man.
trying to get away from the hammer, the Juggernaut is released, who Dennis captured, and of course he remembers Dennis. He basically picks him up and just snaps his body. Well, it was like a corner of a wall, just like basically snaps his whole spine and just severs his spine
This
on this wall,
kind of
and
his
a pretty
signature move.
glorious death. Pretty glorious death on that as well.
Yeah, it was a good uh sacrifice. Still hurt. That was one of my only notes was like, no, Dennis. Um
But yeah, I was gonna say I don't know if you have anything else you want to add.
I had thought of something in the middle of it and then completely forgotten. Oh, uh they didn't last very long with like the twist of Cyrus being back. It, initially it was like, oh, he's back. He's a ghost. Oh no. And they just tossed that to the wayside really quick. Uh,
Yeah,
as soon
because
as Kalina
I
runs up and
guess
like
he never died at all. He just kind of faked it.
friggin'
Which I'm
shenanigans,
I'm not gonna lie, I did not catch that the first time I watched the movie.
right?
I
Friggin'
thought he was just a
shenanigans.
ghost the whole time that somehow people could interact with.
Yeah, because it's like, how can Kalina
Because
see
they
and
did
touch Cyrus?
not,
Hmm.
yeah, because they did not really explain that or show that very well. But at this point, this is where like Arthur's all, sad and depressed over Dennis being killed, and then his wife actually comes up to him, and they have the record of like chanting in the background that's basically like calling all the ghosts to like the center where the eye of hell will appear when they complete the ritual. So he's trying to like talk to her, and she's being called to that center, the center of the house where like the mechanism actually is. And then that's where like he finds his kids
We finally
in
find
the
the
middle.
kids.
Yeah, he finally finds the kids trapped in like I don't even know how you explain it. Like the floor, it was because it was like the floor like circling around them. Um,
Yes. Various concentric circles.
Yeah, that
rising from
there
the
you go.
floor.
So much better with words than me. Yeah, essentially. And then this is where Arthur basically sees his uncle and realizes, he's not dead and all that, and they, kind of get into a bit of a tussle, and then but unknowingly to everybody, Maggie is actually in the room that controls the machine and just starts fucking with all the
Right.
levers
Just
and
starts
everything
doing whatever.
else and basically messing up the ritual to where it can't be completed and all that. And then that's the Cyrus does die on that one, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh
Cyrus
yeah,
ends
yeah,
up getting turned on, I believe, right?
yeah, by all the ghosts. So yeah, all the
Yes.
ghosts turn on Cyrus because they have their own free will without the chanting going on.
They're mad as
And then
fuck.
and that's when Arthur, makes the sacrificial leap to his kids and makes it to them, and they just all hug while the house starts to fall apart.
I tell you what, if my ability to parry in any FromSoft game is anything to go by, I would have been dead as fuck trying to jump through the pattern of concentric circles.
Yep. Oh no. I probably would have timed it right, but then mistimed the jump and just fell.
Walked
Like I
off
would
the
have the
edge.
timing right, but not. Yeah, exactly. I would have just been like, "Oh shit, I didn't jump," and then yeah.
No, I would think I would have it, and it would be that half second too early. Nope, no. Um,
Yeah, and then yeah, this is where, the house pretty much falls apart. All the spirits are, free from the house, and then the Arthur and his kids get like the last like, as their mom is, leaving, they get like one last glimpse of her, and then basically the movie just ends with Maggie leaving the house shouting out, "I quit." And scene.
a scene. Um, I could have done without the ending.
I mean, it was a good
It's
like little
funny,
last
like brush it
last
off
laugh kind
afterwards,
of
right?
kind of thing, kind of a
Everybody
because
de-stress
I
now.
mean, if she wasn't gonna quit, she deserved to be fired. She was not good at her job.
100%. I
She
don't
had to been like good friends with Arthur or something because she is not good at her job.
had to have because yeah, no, I couldn't have. I she would have been fired before we got to the last scene. We would have been exiting the house and have been like, "You never come back. Don't speak to my children ever again."
Yeah, because actually now thinking about it, because I think it was like, yeah, it was like towards the beginning of the movie, or not beginning of the movie, but like the meat of the movie, when Dennis looks at Arthur, he's like, how do you lose both your kids in a glass house?" And that line was just so good.
Oh man. Uh, yeah. I think when we were talking about Dennis getting the crap beaten out of him by the hammer and subsequently broken in half by the hammer, uh,
The Juggernaut.
or the Juggernaut, yeah. Going
Yeah.
back to that beginning, there was some beef because he was a bit insulting towards the Juggernaut, if I'm not mistaken. If you
No,
like,
he was insulting the hammer to, I think it was just kind of get his attention so he would leave Arthur alone.
I know I meant
And that was part of his.
after the capture during the first scene.
Oh, I don't think so.
No, I thought there was like a
No.
jump for him.
No,
Maybe
no, no.
not.
He was trying to get like all the, the no-name people that were just there for a paycheck and didn't know they were going to die there. He was trying to actually get them all to safety.
That's yeah.
And yeah, but no, he was talking shit to the hammer to get his attention so he wouldn't go after Arthur in the death scene.
I still feel bad. Still makes me sad. Dennis didn't deserve it,
Oh,
but he got his nice little
no,
nod
not at all.
off at the end, where
Yeah,
that
yeah.
was kind of sweet, seeing Dennis's spirit. I did wonder as they were wandering, as the ghosts were all leaving. I just had to wonder, where do they go and what do they do now that they're free? Do they go back to like
What
killing people, or
whatever they wanted, or maybe like that was kind of their they get to go to whatever afterlife they believe in or something. I don't know.
Heaven, hell, the
Because they
infinite
kind of
void.
just like leave the house and then just disappear. So maybe like they're going their own little personal hell. Who knows?
Maybe, I don't know. They all seem pretty at peace. So who
Yeah.
knows?
I mean,
Uh,
the jackal was laughing at the end. So
well, yeah. All in all, good movie, great movie. Love this movie. Go see this movie. You can watch it
I
on
guess
Tubi for free.
this is true. With that, what was your favorite scene of the movie then?
Oh, okay. We're jumping in and from reset. Yeah, yeah. All
Yeah,
right.
why not?
Jumping
Why
into
not?
the ending segments. My favorite scene. It falls between the opening and the transition through the glasses in the bathroom.
The bathroom scene.
Yeah.
All right.
I
So we got the
like
same one.
I like some of the in between stuff, like when the mechanism is initially started and we get like the turning of the gears and the shifting of like
Yeah,
glass. And
yeah.
I really like that internal scene of the house moving around. The scenes of the house moving around. But those were kind of interspersed throughout as the house was shifting, and that would, if we lump all that together into one scene, that's my favorite, maybe. Just because I thought it was really fascinating with the close-ups and the motion of the interior. But yeah, could be any of three of those things, and I feel like
Yeah. Like the opening Jurassic Park scene is a great way to start a movie, but then like I said, the whole bathroom scene where the camera goes through the glasses and you see like the whole like, bloody bathroom, the bloody shower curtains, the tub filled with blood, and the princess just in the the bathtub full of blood. And they even had the part where Kathy's like combing her hair. She's kind of like standing there next to her looking in the mirror combing her own hair and all that. I thought that was really cool.
yeah, like,
So I would say those two scenes were like my favorite ones.
yeah. I mean, they were really just really good scenes. I it's a pointless thing. It's fluff and it's in between, but the jump scare initially of Kathy putting on the glasses and getting jump scared and then dragged back.
Oh, with the jackal.
Yeah, with the jackal.
When the jackal attacks you, yeah, that was pretty good too.
It's really good. Yeah, I really enjoyed that as well. I'm gonna go back to the bathroom and just nail that as my favorite of all of them. But yeah.
The more we discussed, the more I thought about it.
Yeah,
Just,
it's like no, that's the best one. Like that was just so cool the way it was done. It wasn't weird like the glass transition in Jeepers Creepers, which was also very quiet but made far less sense.
That scene was so weird. But
so
anyways,
fucking
we're not
weird.
getting into that again. We
No.
already went over it.
Right, that episode has
Ad
already
nauseam.
come out, and we are done.
Exactly.
Beyond
Uh,
that, I guess we go to the kills of the film, which are not necessarily numerous. Let me pull up the site. Shout out to Dead Meat, by the way, for providing kill lists.
yeah, because the majority of the kills were in that, like I said, the very first scene with all the unnamed henchmen.
Pretty much. Oh yes, that is
Because yeah, because after that first scene, it's literally just one, two, like three major,
Just say
four
three main
major
casts.
kills.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's it. But they are good though.
For this, we can just use Dead Meat's counted deaths, if you like, since everything else also lists all the ghosts that died before the film. We have the counted deaths, 1 to 12. People presumably killed by the Juggernaut, in which we've seen their bodies at 7 minutes. More presumably killed by the Juggernaut. Also in that opening scene, Cyrus's guy number 1, who's killed in the junkyard with junkyard stuff. Guy number 2. These are very nondescript, so I'm not going to count those guys either. But we have Cyrus guy number 4, who was beaten to death by the Juggernaut.
The henchman, as I call him.
Yeah. Damon found dead after the scrap in the
There's
junkyard.
his name.
That's his name. Uh, Jean, who died in the house fire, the wife, uh,
Hmm.
happened off screen, but we get that flash of it. Ben
Yeah.
Moss split in half by the
Which I will say
pain.
before, sorry to interrupt, but
Uh,
like the little how they do the opening scenes and then you kind of hear the background of like their history of like the fire and all that stuff was actually
yeah,
kind of a cool little way to do that, like a quick little
that
way to
fever
do it.
dream kind of
Yeah.
sequence. Yeah, that was really good. Thank you for mentioning that. Um, Dennis, who's beaten to death by the juggernaut. Kalina, who's crushed by the glass walls, and Cyrus,
Yeah, I was
who's
gonna say
chopped
that
up by the rotating machine.
the Juggernaut gets almost all of them.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah,
He really shows off the skills in this movie.
yeah.
Uh, so then with that, what would be your favorite?
Uh, it, it's a tough one because when you narrow it down to just the main cast kills, uh, they're all really good. Um, and there's only four of them. There's four of them. Uh, I'm gonna go with the climax. I'm gonna go with Cyrus when he gets tossed into the blades.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
I thought you'd go with a different one, but okay.
I know you did, and I feel like maybe you might have felt that way about that one. I'm not sure, but we'll see.
Um, the so mine is like a one A, one B
All right.
because the lawyer getting cut in half, like just the way the it just happens. Then like the glasses, like they pop off his face, then the tie comes off, and then the
Yes.
front part of his body slides, and then you see the back part, and then that slowly slides off the glass. Like I said, mwah, chef's kiss. So good.
That's a
But
good use
then,
of CG.
yeah, but the opening scene, as I said earlier, with the henchman who gets literally folded in half like a fucking beach chair and then just gets dragged through the hood of the junkyard car. So good.
I
Like that's my one and one A right there.
all
Like
right.
those two are so good to me.
That's fair. Yeah, I didn't know if you were gonna just go with the henchman or if you were gonna go with I'm glad you went with
The
both. I'm glad you
lawyer
gave it a 1A and a
the
1B.
lawyer one's good though too.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, the
then
lawyer's amazing.
I think we're kind of in unison on the least the how do we call it
The least necessary
the
or
least necessary. Yeah, the
the
least
one that
necessary death.
we don't like.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're in unison on this one because he killed Matthew Lillard, man.
Yeah, you can't.
Like what
I mean,
what the fuck?
you always do for some reason, but like stop it. Stop it.
Exactly. Just this should make it a movie law. Matthew Lillard's not allowed
Right?
to die anymore from here on out.
Bastards. I mean, I don't know. Technically, we get that FNAF sequel. He's not technically
From
dead.
here.
um,
But I'm just, yeah, you can't kill Matthew Lillard. He's a national
stop
treasure.
killing Matthew Lillard, please. He's fucking Shaggy. Stop it. Like, zoinks. Yeah, I agree with you on that. 100% obviously.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was like, I'm fairly certain we're in unison on that one.
I will use anyone's mouth as a commode who speaks poorly of Matthew Lillard. I think I mentioned something of that nature. Um, but yeah, anyway, that brings us to the end. That's all
It
of it. That's the
does.
segments. I do want to say, oh wait, never mind. Cut that. Yeah, that brings us to the end of it. We have one more episode after this that we have to nail out in
Yeah.
between life things. It's gonna be out, kids. Trust me. You'll know
I say,
because
do you want to tell the kids what the next episode is, or shall I?
I mean it's your
This is
choosing.
true.
Your
My
quote
one
unquote
big
choosing.
Yeah, I was gonna say my real big choice here. So yes, the next episode will be Silent Hill, which
Yeah, we're closing it out on an interesting one.
yeah, I would call it interesting because obviously we'll get into it more when we do the episode, but it is a movie I was the first time I watched it, I honestly did not know if I liked it or not.
I I think
See, it's hard. I think it took me a couple of times to actually like the movie. Seriously, like the first time I watched it, I was like, was it good? Do I think it was good?
I
I honestly don't
remember
know.
this was a
Well,
young Hobbesy, not too young Hobbesy, but this was a teen Hobbesy hanging with the uncle video rental. And
mhm.
I feel like I liked it, but maybe it's just the nostalgia of good vibes.
I think when I first watched it, it was either on TV or back in the day when Netflix used to mail out
Yeah,
DVDs.
right.
I think that was when I first watched it. It was a Netflix DVD. But
If anyone
anyways,
in
we'll
the
get in.
audience has a never returned Netflix DVD with their little markings where the case,
Oh, please let us
take a
know.
picture, mail it in, hobbsyhorror@gmail.com, or send it
Yes,
to us on our socials at hobbsyhorror across the board. Just, I want to see it. I want
yes.
to feel
I
it.
want to see your unreturned Netflix DVDs.
Period. Dot. Those are Redbox, man. If you've got anything you never gave back to Redbox, Blockbuster, even shit. You ever see one of those out in the wild? A Blockbuster
Oh my
ring?
God. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, dude, it was so sad when the last one finally closed.
Lord
It was
help
holding
me.
out. It was
Right?
holding out so long. I
That's
wanted
a
to go visit it,
historical
but then it
site.
closed.
Like, you can't close that as a historical site. Maybe that's what we need to do. We need to just go reopen it. But yeah, no. What were we talking about before we went off on Netflix rings?
Silent Hill.
Silent Hill. That's right. Uh, but yeah, no. I even today. If you go back and you check out our shorts playlist, I think I just have it titled as Hobbsy Horror Mini Reviews at this point, because I gave up on trying to get things under 30 seconds when something went zero point 0.9 seconds over 30 seconds. Uh, but I just recently watched Silent Hill because that's part of the 2B challenge. So that was a fun little thing to get to cross over and get refreshed on. And I guess I'll get double refreshed on it this time. But yeah, looking forward to it. Looking forward to digging into it and getting to talk about the stuff behind it. Because just on a sit down and watch, I didn't feel like I got a lot of the themes of Silent Hill out of it.
Mhm.
So maybe there was some subtext there I was missing. I look forward to digging into it. And that will
But
be.
yeah, I was gonna say,
Oh yeah,
I guess
continue.
when we watch this movie, I will find out if I like it or not officially because I honestly don't remember if I
Have
liked it or not the
well,
first time I watched
when
it.
was the last time you watched it?
Oh, it's been, I think I've only seen it like two or three times.
Wow. All right. All right. I think
Yeah, I haven't seen
I've
it a
seen it like
lot.
6 or 7 times, I think, somewhere in that range. I haven't hit double
It's
digits.
it's been a while since I've watched it
All right.
because I know I played the first two games and I got completely lost in the first game
Good
because I had no fucking clue where to go. But it was a good game.
game.
And actually, I know we'd probably get into this a little bit more when we, actually do the episode and all that, but they're remaking the second one.
They are, which is an
And
interesting choice.
yeah, it is weird that you would start with the second one, but I am looking forward to it.
I mean, it's kind of what Resident Evil did too, isn't it?
No, they did an HD version
They
of the
did an
first one
HD version of the first, but then they
and then started remaking the other
starting
ones.
from
But
two.
at
Yeah.
least they did something with the first one first.
I guess, yeah. That's a whole other topic and a whole
I
other
mean,
story.
technically they did a remake of the first one on the N64, so
Like eventually one day we're gonna have to just do kind of a deep dive on Resident Evil, I think.
the game, the movies are all.
Kind of all of it, because it's a chopped up mess of fucking lore that they did to, they did to Resident Evil.
You know what?
And I'm here for it.
Resident Evil is like my kid, man. Don't talk shit about
I-
Resident Evil. I don't care how messy or fucked up it is, all right? That is my kid and that is my fucked up kid.
Look
Do
what they
not talk
did to
shit
my
about
boy.
Resident
Um, yeah, no. Believe me, I'm here for it. I love it. Friggin' Resident Evil Apocalypse was on sci-fi the other day while I was at work.
Oh my
And I
god, dude,
watched
the movies are such a fucking mess. It's not even funny.
so it's such a mess.
Oh, I even though I will watch the movies anytime they come on, I still don't think I like any of the movies. And then even the fucking Netflix series that came out too, and I'm just like, I'll watch it. I don't think I'm gonna like it, but I will watch it.
I never did watch it.
It was okay.
We'll see.
It was
I'll
okay.
watch it eventually. We'll see. Season 3, guys. Bigger plans, better episodes, more no, wait, no, not. The lawyer said I can't say that. But yeah. Anyway, before we rattle on about Resident Evil for too long, yeah, let's do a deep dive on that someday. Because loves the lore. Of
I
the
don't even think I
games.
understand the lore anymore, but
I had a pretty firm grasp of it up until maybe 5. No, 5 was still there, 6. And then they kind of rebooted a little bit. They went back even further in 7 and 8. So
yeah, we're just gonna not mention Resident Evil 6 anymore because I will go on a rant and then this will go way too fucking long, so we're just not gonna mention
you know
that.
what? We will give it its own
5
episode then.
also. Yeah, 5 Resident Evil 5 also. I have ugh. We're just gonna stop.
We'll talk about it when we get to it. We'll get to it. We've got big ideas. Some housekeeping real quick before we shut down, give the socials, all that good stuff that we're supposed to do. Quick housekeeping, we're always thinking, we're always doing. We might be busy now, but we're gonna link up and do some stuff. We've got some ideas, so keep your eyes out on that on the YouTube or the Spotify. Well, the YouTube, because there's gonna be visual components. Let's be real. Spotify, just a podcast. Yeah, keep an eye on our YouTube if you don't listen there, but most people do, I feel like. So, hey, you're already here. Check the other things out and keep an eye out for some other fun things coming. I don't know if we want to talk about any of those, but maybe next time. We can go ahead and wrap. You can find myself across the board at that Hobbesy. Pretty much any socials. I'm on all of them for some reason. I don't use all of them, but if you message there, I'll get the notifications. RJ, where can we find you?
RJ Ware 89.
At the Twitter/X. It's the only one he keeps.
That's
if
it.
you're not familiar.
Yep.
Talk sports, all that, yada yada. We've mentioned this. You can also find the pod on most socials, but we're most active on Twitter X. Again, I'll answer messages anywhere, but at Hobbesy Horror and the Gmail, hobbesyhorror@gmail.com. Please email us anything you really want, questions, concerns, profanities. If you got scenarios like Unclear sent us this time around, those,
and who knows, you might make the recording.
yeah, we might read it on air. We might go ahead. I mean, we've got some ideas for that too, but we want to stick them in the episodes and see what we do with the rest. But yeah, anything else on that note?
I think that pretty much covers it.
Kick ass. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us on this episode. We hope to see you in the next one. Bye.